Okay, hi everyone. Yeah, so today we'll be doing a continuation on our Firebase series. So we'll be trying to make a multiplayer game room. Yeah, so based on this, the final end result, right, is supposed to look like this. Okay. Uh, so in a sense that let's say I join in a session. Maybe let's say my session is E. This is one of my existing sessions. Once I join it already, then if I plus it, then yeah, the scores should show for everywhere else. So like for example, let's say I am over here. If I launch the same thing again, right? So as you can see, if I plus this, right, there's something funny with the code right at the moment, but this is the one from the database. Okay, so you see it's plus 50 and all that. So here you see there's nothing happening. But if I join the same session, if I click on this, here will show as well. Okay, so 55 here will show as well. Yeah, so basically everyone that's connected to it will see. So if let's say I connect 1, 2, 3, 4 instead. Okay, so now I plus. Oh, okay. So apparently it still can join. Okay. I think because I hard coded one of the sessions. Yeah, so that one needs to be that one needs to be fixed. Okay, but anyways, yeah, the idea is imagine there's like 5 people, right, running this at the same time. Everyone's data over here gets updated together as long as they join the correct session. So like let's say I join 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Then will it show up? Oh yes, it will. Okay, yeah, because I hard coded the session code to be EEE actually. So I need to change that later. Okay, all right. So no worries there. Yeah, so that's the whole idea of it. So let's try to get this started. I have the code over here. I already set up the whole CSS for it, so you guys can just join in and just code along much more easily. It took me like 1 hour just to get out the right logic for this. So save you guys some time there. Okay, so just download it. Maybe I'll download it together with you guys so that I have an idea how long it will take. Okay, so we have this, and let's put it somewhere that we can start the session. Okay, go and do this. Okay, nice. All right, so we're inside here. Okay, so let's open this file up with Visual Code Studio. Okay, nice. There we go. Okay. So we have our index over here, our game styles over here. So what we're missing here is actually just Vite. We need to get Vite running as well. Yeah, so how we can do that is, I think I need to look at this again actually. So scaffolding, following prompts. Yeah. npm install. Okay, let's try to follow this. Okay, so come to terminal. In terminal here, and npm create byte at latest. Okay, then press yes. Okay, so project name, let's call this multiplayer, right? Multiplayer game room. Yeah, so package name, vanilla, let's make it vanilla. Right, just press enter everything. Yeah. So once we have that already, okay, nice. So now it's all working. Okay, so we are inside this one already. Yeah, so I think what needs to change is yeah, what we need to change is actually this main job. So this main JS index.js. Okay, so let's transfer our files over. Right. So this one over here, we delete it. Yeah, this one we'll delete this one, and we move this inside. Okay, so move this inside multiplayer game. Okay, Firebase game style. Oh, this also move inside. Okay, yeah. And these two we delete. All right, the ones that are outside, just delete it. Yeah, try to delete. Okay, never mind. Maybe you don't delete it first. Okay, so now that we're inside the main one already, you can go. Okay, just cd multiplayer game room. Okay, now we're inside, and we run npm install. All right, nice. So once you have npm install already, we'll run. Okay, so it says 4 packages are run looking for funding. So npm fund. Okay, interesting. Okay, it's zero vulnerability, so that's good, I guess. Then after that, we'll go for npm run dev. Does it work? Yes. All right, nice. Okay, so now that it's working, let's just click on it. All right, nice. Okay, so everything should work perfectly fine here. Awesome. Okay, so here, just open up your console, and yeah, looks great. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to be able to grab the username, all right? And the idea how this work is, basically you have a session, right? You create users, and then in each of these sessions, that's how they connect with the ID. Okay, so every time you click on this button, right, you press plus plus plus, right? Always now nothing happens. Every time you press plus, it should update the database. Yeah. So then anyone who is connected with the same ID to that particular room, to that particular document. So maybe I show you guys the document instead to have a better idea. Yeah. So the idea is as long as your session code matches, so like 123, 1234, 54321, all right, then the score will be sent over to your display over there. Okay, yeah, so over here, the rate score is currently 62. Maybe I'll change it back down to 0 first. Okay, so this is a manual update. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so we're gonna create a new file, and we're gonna call, okay, and this new file must be under multiplayer. So we call this sandbox.js. Yeah, sandbox.js. And I believe in my file, she already have a connection to it. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, let's change this one. Okay, no need to change this. Let's change the name instead. So our name is game controls. So the sandbox over here, let's change that. Yeah, so game controls. Okay, then let's just do a quick console log to see if this file is working. So console log, hello. Yeah, let's try and see. It's not loading up. Okay, did I connect it wrongly? Game controls.js. Okay, hold on. Let me just run it again. Okay. and npm run dev. Oh, I think I know what's the problem. Okay, now it's working. Yeah. So hello, right? And now it's working. Yeah. So if it's not working, just delete it off. I mean, cancel the npm run dev and then run it over again. Okay, nice. Okay. So let me just check this. Okay, I have the flow here already. This is actually the completed one, but I copy this out so that it's a bit easier. So basically, we want to create a new session, right? The user is comprised of a few key details, and after that, our room, our button, yeah, our button should have some special things here as well. Yeah, actually, here I have some data for the room, like what it's supposed to look like. But I think this one is more applicable if we do it OOP, object-oriented programming. So this one I think we'll maybe try next time. Yeah, object-oriented programming. Okay, nice. All right. So yeah, let's get started. So I think let's start with an easy one first, right? So that we know that at least this game is working. So we'll start off with the button first. All right. So check for current user, read the current database, add to the score. Okay, this one we'll do this a little bit later. So now we just want to make sure that when I press this button, here will be updated. Okay, so let's try to do that. Okay. So if you check our buttons, right, over here. Okay, so as you can see, this is a red button one. Okay, so red button one is the name, is the red button one is the ID name. Okay, so constant red button one, okay, is equals to document that get element by ID and red button one. Okay, so once we get it already, we want to add an event listener to it. Red button that one, add event listener, and we want to listen for when it clicks and it will run certain function. All right, so maybe this one will say update. Gee, what did I put for the other name? Update score. Yes. Okay, so update score. So update score. And yeah, so here we define the flow first. So what happen is I want to grab the current value, all right, and I would want to increment it. Okay, so document that get element by ID, and I want to see what is this. Okay, so this is a rate score one. All right, so you can see it's over here. Yeah, so how you check, right, is you look at this part. If there's a hash next to it, this is the ID. If it's a dot and a dot, right, that means it's the class. Yeah, so hash here is rate score one. Okay, so rate score one. Okay, score one. And we want to get the inner HTML, all right? And we want to get the score, all right? So var score is equal to plus one, okay? And now this one most probably is going to be a string. So what we want to do is we pass int it. Pass int, I think, plus one. Okay. And after that, what we want to do is we set the rate score one with the new value. Rate score one dot inner HTML equals to score. So I think we call this updated score, updated score. So that's a bit more understandable. Updated score. Okay, nice. Okay, so let's try it out. Okay, what's the problem here? The score. All right. Okay. Yeah. So over here, I'm supposed to define this updated score as well. Okay. Oh, right. I didn't. Okay. Yeah. Function. Right. We call this function. Okay. Yeah. This should work. Updated score is not defined. What happened? Did I type it wrong? Interesting. You know what? Let's see what value is this actually. So console. Oh, this is where. Okay, I guess it cannot go so. Okay, so this one better we don't put it here. Okay. Bar score. Okay, wait, let me just try it out. Something not working. Updated score not defined. Oh, okay. Yeah, simple. It's my small mistake there. Updated score. Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So if I plus it, let me restart again. Start off with 0. Oh, yeah. Interesting. At the moment I go inside straight away, it clicks already. Something not right. Add event listener. The moment I click on it, then it should work. But why is it automatically clicking? Interesting. Very interesting. Let me see. Okay, if I remove this function, what is called? Oh, okay. Okay, yeah, can already. Yeah, so what happens is if we put the function, this as a function straight away, right? By default, it will run the function straight away. Yeah, then it will cause us our whole thing to mess up. Yeah, so we don't want that. We just want it to be like, like just the name of the function itself. Yeah, don't put the bracket behind it or else it will mess it up. Okay, right. So this one, you plus it, no problem. Okay, so we want to do it for the blue button as well. So let's just copy this, all right? And we call this update score 1. Okay, so here actually you can delete off already, right? Remove, and this one to trigger it, what we want is we want the blue button 1 equals to document dot get element by ID blue button 1. Okay, so after that, blue button 1 add event listener, and I want to be based on click, and I want it to run updated score 1. Okay, nice. So we want to grab the one for blue score, right? So let's change that. So blue score in a HTML, and here blue score in a HTML. All right. Okay, so let's test it out. Plus here, plus here. Okay, yeah, so both sides also can already. Nice. Okay, so button wise, we have done a very simple one. Okay, and just to show that we can interact with the buttons. So that's the first step. Okay, now the second step is we want to get the username, and then after that, what is the session code? So the idea here is we want to generate the user, we want to generate the session, and then we want to default each document as the new room. Okay, so imagine this is room 1, room 2, room 3, room 4. Okay, and if the user join room 1, they will see what's happening in room 1. If the user join room 2, they'll see what's happening in room 2. Yeah. So so in each room there will be default of four things. We have the blue score, the red score, initialized as 0. Then we have the session ID and what are the users that are inside. Okay, so with that in mind, basically we need to create, we need to, yeah, let me think of it. What name did I use for this again? Blue score, get data, session code, retrieve document, create session, join session. Yeah, okay, create user. All right, so we will have 3 things here. So let's make these 3 functions. So first function is create session. Okay. After that, we'll have another one. Let's make all of these asynchronous. Okay, because we'll be needing it later. Okay, so async function create join session. All right, so when the user joins based on this ID. And finally, I have create user. Okay, so async create function create user. Okay, did I go wrong somewhere? Async function. Okay. So in a create session, all right, what I need is I need to read a few things. All right, I need to read what is the user. I read the username. I want to read session ID, and I need to create a new room, right? Create a new room with 4 variables, okay, which is red score, blue score, users, all right, will be an array who's inside, and finally we have session, right? The most important one, session. Okay, so let's make this first one first. All right, so let's start with the user here. All right, so here, as you can see, is username. Okay, so let's grab all our variables first. So constant username is equals to get document, right? Document dot get element by ID and username. Okay. After that, we want another input, which is the session code. So session code, let me check, is it correct? Yes, session code equals to document dot get ID and session code. Okay, nice. Okay, and let me just double check. Okay, yeah. So we also want to trigger the create, right? So there's a create button and there's a join button. So we want to listen to these 2 buttons as well. So the moment I click on create, it will trigger this create session. If I click on join, it will trigger the other one. Okay, so let's at least do that. So constant, this would be create. This is join. All right, awesome. So create is equals to element.get element.id create, so by join element get element join, and these two we want to have an event listener to each of them. All right, so event or create join buttons. Okay. So create the moment on click, I want it to trigger our function create session. Okay. And after that, for our join, we also want to add event listener, and here I want it to be click as well, and I want it to run our join session. Awesome. Okay, so we have that. All right, so now this is done. The moment I click on this, it should trigger it. Okay, so I should get in two inputs. Okay, and now with these two inputs, right, I want to check what is our input first. Okay, so let's do a console.log and let's see our username, right? So how do we check it? We just put the curly brackets username, and then I want to console the other one, log, and this one curly brackets also session code, right? So this way, right, you treat it as what's this called again? In Python, it's called dictionary. I forgot what is it. Okay, I forgot what is it called already in JavaScript, but it's kind of like a dictionary lah. Okay, so yeah, so let's see. So my name is Jin Yong, all right, and the session code now is 1234 12335. Okay, so let's create. I click create. Yeah, so it will show this. Okay, yeah, so I want to check what is the value, and in that case I will need to click dot value instead. Okay. Because these are inputs. If they are divs, right, then you will check for inner HTML. If they are inputs, then you check for value instead. Okay, so okay. Yeah, all right, great. So this one works. If I want to join another one, this one works as well. Great. Okay, and now we have successfully get this tool ready. Okay, now what I want to do is I want to this. By the way, is everyone okay so far? I mean, if there's anyone following along with the session, or any questions or not? Yeah, so far okay, yeah. All right. Okay, so let's go on to to see how can we make this data, right? How can we upload this data? So we want to add data. So if you're creating the data for the first time, right, we'll use set document. Okay, so you guys can actually search this up. So add to Firestore. Okay, search this up, add to Firestore. Data. Right. So the first thing that pops up, you'll see this one over here. So there's actually a few. So there's set document. There is add document. So add document is if you want it to randomize for you, all right? So the ID randomize for you, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, then there is update. Update is very good if you don't want to overwrite, because if you use set, right, it will actually overwrite. Okay, you know what? I think I'll go through it. Then you guys will have an idea. Okay, so this one is very important because you need to know how to like add to element without overwriting. All these are at the bottom, you know. But the front one is just how to make the first. Okay, so we just copy this. Okay, import and put it here. Okay. All right. Okay, so this import, let's put it on top, right? All the way on top. Okay, and yeah, So we need doc and we need to have set doc. Okay, so all right, let's get back in here. Okay, so what this means is it will await and it will set the document. So the document is, we want to put it into DB, and let's go into go into multiplayer game. Okay, because this is currently how it's labeled. Okay, multiplayer game. And here, all right, we'll put in session code. Okay, so what this means is it will generate the document based on the session code name. Okay, and what are the things that we want inside? Let's remove all of this. And we want to set the rate score. All right, rate score, set it as 0. Okay, then blue score, set it as 0. Next, we want to have the user, right? Like what is the current user? So we put it as a bracket form and username, and followed by session, right? So session, and this is where we put the session code. Okay, so this whole thing should be created, right? The moment I run it. Okay, let's give it a shot. So, right, these are the current game rooms that we have. Let's make a new one. Okay, so maybe let's say my name is Jin Yong, and I want to create a session called FFF. Okay. Wait, DB is not defined. All right. Okay, so something is missing. Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, right? Get started. Okay, so what we're missing here is actually import get Firestore from Firebase store, and then constant db the Firestore app. Okay, this one we need, right? So let's go back here, and yeah, let's type that out. So import get Firestore from Firebase Firestore. Okay, so basically same thing here. Copy paste, and after that we want to get store as a constant. So constant db equals to get Firestore and app. Okay, nice. This should work. Sorry, Firebase config. Okay, hold on. Let me just check my other file. Oh, okay. So if I'm not mistaken, I have a DB file already. So, all right, instead of this, right, we just import DB can already. Okay, so what this means is these 2 lines, we just remove it. Yeah, usually you need to do this, but because my GitHub file already has it, so you don't need to do it. So import DB, and after that from our Firebase file. Okay, so this would be dot Firebase.js. Okay, yeah, right, yeah, because over here we already initialized all the setting. Okay, so over here, this is actually my ID, my Firebase config. So you guys can actually be using it right now. But if you guys are making your own one, then yeah, just change it accordingly. Okay, so we set this ready. Nice. And let's give it a shot. Right, so Jin Yong and AAA rate. Okay, let's see, does it show or not? Yes. Okay, so here we have created a new one. So okay, so if you guys are following along and you have reached this stage, right, you can actually create your own game room. Maybe put your own name there as a game room and see if it pops out here or not. Yeah. So that's how you can try it out. Okay, so if anyone's actually doing this, just let me know. Then you can see if it pops out over here. All right. Okay, so this is settled. We have successfully created our game rooms accordingly. Okay, now what we want is we want to, okay, maybe we put a console log as well, so that at least we know when that has happened. So console log, session successfully. Okay, nice. Now let's go for join session. So join session, what do we need? So join session, we also need our username, all right? So read username. We also need to read the session code. And we also, yeah, it's pretty much the same actually. The only difference is, right, instead of create a new room, right, now we need to join the room instead. Okay, so join existing room and update the user array. Okay, basically to add new user. Okay, so as you can see here, currently it's only Jin Yong. So let's say what happens if I want to put in like Nelson? What if I want to put in Jun Hao, Chin Hong? You know, yeah, right. So let's see how do we do that. So pretty much the same, right? So we can just copy and paste this. Okay, create. So join session. Okay, so now I've gotten these variables already. Now what I want to do is, okay, if you guys try to do the same thing here, right? All right, if you try and copy paste this and you try to run it, okay, and we don't want the rate score, okay, we only want to update the username, because that is yeah, we want to update the username only, because the red score, blue score sessions and all, it should not be affected. Okay, you're just an existing player joining a room that has things going on already. Yeah, so let me save this. So let's try it out. Let's say if I put Nelson and I put the session code, let's say a different one. Okay, let's say bond 001. Okay, so if I click on join instead, okay, you know what? I think I should put log here. And username has created a join session session. Okay, right, it should show this. Okay, so if we look over here, you notice here, right, the join almost look the same as it almost look the same as create. All right, but you notice here, right, it only created for user only. There's nothing else. Like AAA, all right, it has 4 variables. Bond 01 only has 1. Okay, so the room bond 01 only has 1. So that's why we don't want to use this. Okay, and now what happens if, let's say, I want to do that for the existing one? So Nelson, and I want to go into room AAA, right? Is that 4As? Yes, that's correct. So if I click on join, right? All right, Nelson has joined session AAA. Okay. All right, you notice the whole thing gets overwritten. Okay, this is because we are using set document, okay, which is to create or overwrite a single document. So we don't want that actually. All right, so what we want is, we actually want to update the document instead. Okay, so oh yeah, speaking of which, right, in this session, basically we are covering on 3 of these main components. CRUD. Okay, so CRUD consists of create, it consists of read, it also consists of update, and it consists of delete. Yeah, so delete, we most probably we need also, just to reduce our storage space when it's not needed, after like 10 minutes or so, session ends. Yeah, but today we will just cover on the CRU first. Yeah, create, read, and update. All right, so let's use this instead. Okay, so to update a document, what you need now is update doc. All right, we need to import update doc. So just add it here, update document, and we, yeah, just copy this lah. So go into, it's okay. So this create session. Let's go into join session. Okay. Right. So here it's pretty much the same. Doc. Okay. Yeah. So basically what, just change your set doc. All right. Okay. So this whole thing, let's just remove that. Sorry about that. Okay. So set doc, change the function, change it to update doc instead. Okay. Just change that one line only, update doc, and you're good to go. Okay. Update doc, and all right. And we want to update the username. Okay. Just the username. Okay. Great. So let's save this. And let's create back our proper one first. Okay, so Jin Yong, and I want to make it room 001, right? Room 001. Okay. Session successfully created. Now let's say Nelson wants to join in. All right, so I'll click on join. Right, click on join. Nelson has joined session room 01. So if we look at this here, room 01. Oh wait. Okay, so you notice, right? This one becomes Nelson straight away. Okay, so if I create it one more time, okay, so let's go back to here. Let's say this is Jin Yong who's creating it. Okay, so you notice here it changed to Jin Yong, but if I click on, if I switch to Nelson, right? Okay, if I click create, the whole thing gets overridden if I'm not mistaken. No, it's not. Yeah, so only this part gets updated. But yeah, as you can see, right, this here gets replaced, right? The array gets replaced. So how do we solve that? Okay, so if you don't want your whole array to be replaced, right? Because update document, it can work for one item only. Okay, if you want to add item, you need a different function. So this function is all the way at the bottom. Update an elements in an array. Okay, so what you want to do is update doc, make sure that you add in array union as well. Okay, you need to add one more thing. So array union. Okay, and just remove these square brackets. All right, we don't need it anymore. So array union. Okay, so yeah, then you can comment here as well. Array union adds element, adds new element to existing array, okay, instead of overwriting it. Yeah, so the idea here is you can still use update doc, just that for arrays, make sure that you add in array union as well. Okay, now let's try it again. Okay, so currently it's Nelson. Let's say Jin Yong wants to join in. Okay, or let's say Chin Hong. Chin Hong wants to join in, and the session code is room 001. Okay, so join. Okay, so Chin Hong has joined room session 01. So right, as you can see now, it's added already. Okay, so let's add everyone here. So Jun Hao is in as well. All right, and I want to add myself in as well. So Jin Yong. Okay, so join. All right, so Jun Hao has joined, Jin Yong has joined. Okay, now everyone is in. Okay, very nice. I wonder what happens if I add in one more. If I add in Nelson one more time. Okay, yeah. So if it's the existing one, right, they will know that it's the same one, so they won't do anything, Yeah. So you can see the order still remains the same. Okay. Yeah, so Firebase is pretty smart actually. All right, nice. This one maybe you can improve this session successfully created. Yeah, maybe we can change this to become a bit smarter. So session input. Yes. All right, successfully. Okay. By the way, for those that are watching for the recording, this line, this one over here, right, is actually the symbol next to your number one, right? It's not your regular annotation mark. Yeah, it's not this one. Okay, it's actually this one. It's the shape is a little bit different.
The back tick.
Yeah, the back tick, correct. Last time I got so confused, you know. I'm like, I kept following the video and I had no idea what's going on. So the back tick. All right, nice. So this one is working already. Okay, so now that the session has been created, now that we can join the session, what we want to do is we need to create each user to have their own unique sessions attached to them. Okay. So let's just do that. So, okay. So var user, okay, is equals to, okay, not an array, but we want to make a dictionary. Okay. So our key and value, yeah, correct. Dictionary. So we need a few things. So we need the name, right? User. Okay. So name is the same as name, right? And next one we want is the session, right? The session would be session code. Right. Okay. So yeah, successfully created. Now the thing is, right, we want this user ID to be this user variable to be found everywhere. We want it to be global. So how do we do that? Is we put in window instead, window.user. Yeah, it's something I Google up just a few minutes back. So I hope this is correct. Yeah. So how can we check that is, okay. So, okay, never mind. I think we check that later. So anyways, create user. We'll try to create the users after the thing has been submitted. Okay, so create user. Let's run this over here. And we want to create the user after all the details have been keyed in as well. So create user here too. Okay. Nice. So we want to key in some variables actually. So user name and session code. Okay. The things that we want to put inside. Create user here, we want to pass in the variables as well. So we're going to pass in username and session code as well. All right. So this one, so we paste this for here also. Right. Okay, nice. Okay, now for the interesting part, how do we update the game room? Because every time when I press plus plus plus, over here, nothing's happening, right? Okay, so how do we do that? So let's go back into, okay, let me tidy this up a bit. Okay, so now let's go into our update score. Okay, so update score here, what we want to do is we want to get the current score and we want to update it. All right, so basically the updated score, let me think. Yeah, okay, so updated score, we want to move it up. So bar, and this one we want to set it up. Okay, so let's go back to this. I need to add, right? So to add, I want to update it. Okay, so first we need to make the reference, right? Where do we want to navigate into? So for this one, we are going to the database, we are going to cities and DC. So for our one over here, we are actually going to our collection first. Okay, so by the way, guys, for Firebase, right, how it works is you navigate in this order: collection, then sorry, first you need to name it the DB. Okay, you have to tell that you're going to the database, you're looking into the collection, then you're looking at the document. Okay, now the document can expand into a collection also, then the collection can expand into a document also, and the cycle goes on and on. All right. Yeah, so if you're referring to the document, then you will need a certain function. If you're referring to collection, you also need a different function. Yeah, but the difference is very small only. Okay, so let's access the let's use this and update it. All right, so we want to get the current data. So here is add, right? We want to read first. We want to read the data. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I think we'll finish at 10:10. So just nice because we started a bit late as well. Okay. So I want to get a document, right? This is over here. Okay. So what we want is get doc. Okay, we need to import get doc. So put it here, get doc. Oh my. Okay, get doc. Let's go back into our update score. And here let's comment, okay, so get current value from Firebase store. Current score value, yeah. Okay, so how do we do that? We need to reference to where we are looking at. Okay, so constant doc reference. So we're telling that we are looking. Oh, by the way, if this is a bit too, okay, I know it can be a bit too small. Now I just realized. So I zoom in a little bit. Yeah, sorry guys, I forgot to I forgot to think about this. Yeah, so constant the doc ref and going to document. All right, and I want to check my database. I want to check for my multiplayer game, and I want to check for the session code. Okay, so yeah, I want to find based on the session code. So session code over here. Okay, then after that, I need to read it. So we use doc snap, which is equals to await get doc. Okay, await get doc. So, and what is this document? Basically, we are looking back at our document ref. Okay, document reference. All right, and yeah, so you can actually just copy and paste this. So if the document exists, all right, it will show what is our document data, or else it will say that there's no document found. Okay. All right. So let's read what is the value. So okay, you know what? Let's just run this first. So say I put the session code here is room 001, right? Room 001. So if I say Roy, okay, join the session. Oh, something is wrong. Oh, wait. I see. I think because I forgot to put the sync here. So let's say Roy, and he wants to join in the sessions room 001. Join. Okay, Roy has successfully joined. So we can check. Yes, Roy is inside. Okay, now let's say I put plus. Okay, index of is not a function. Why? Constant dot ref. Session code. Oh, right. Okay, because session code is not defined. Okay. Let's try to make our session code a global variable. So the moment I create session, right? Let's try to see if this works or not. Window that session code. Try one more time. So Roy is joining in and room 001, and I click on join. Okay, I don't see any problems. That's good. Okay. Alamak, I think, okay, you know what? Maybe that room thing, that window thing isn't exactly working. Okay. All right, in that case, right, I think we just manually get the data again. Okay, so here we try to get the session code. Okay, so constant the session code is equal to document get by ID and session code. Okay, so we'll just get it again, right? So Roy, room 001. Still cannot lah. Alamak, what's going on? Looks correct though. Doc ref. Okay, let's take a look. Doc. Document object element. Session code. Okay, I'm looking into DB. Multiplayer game. Multiplayer game. Correct what? Session code. Doc ref. Oh wait, get doc. Okay, you know what? Let me compare to my other code. Where's the get data? Get data over here. Doc DB multiplayer game session code. Correct what? Hmm. See, because it needs this. Cannot be. Okay. Young. Session code room 001. Join. Okay. Console. Caught in promise. Very interesting. The problem is at HTML div element update score line 3720. Okay, maybe I need to put this in a separate function. Let me try calling this out instead. Okay, so let me try to get data. Right, we'll create a new function called get data, and this function we put it over here, and we make an async function. So async function get data, and let's define it here. Okay, so same thing over here, but we just remove it outside. Okay, let's try one more time. Young room 001. Get data is not available. Okay then, yeah. So something wrong with these lines of codes over here. Get element by ID. You know what? I'm gonna try to do it again. Constant session code console. Maybe there's some typo here. By ID code. Okay, done already. The window here, let me just remove it. Maybe it's affecting the rest. So just to be safe, constant. Okay. Okay. Join in. Please study work. Aiyo, wow, this one really headache. Okay, let me just refer back to my other code. Oh, I see. Okay, I know what's the problem already. Okay, the session code here, right? Actually, no. Actually, I'm also still a bit. Wait, hold up. Okay, I think I know. I think I know why. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, it's because this session code, right? We're supposed to get the value. Okay, yeah. All right. So easy way to debug this is you can console log this, right, and actually see what's the variable inside. So if I'm not mistaken, right, this one should give me a problem actually. Input, right. So let's just put the session code room 001. Fine. All right. So if I pass this, okay, and we check the console, you can see here, right? This we have no idea what is this actually. All right. Prototype object. So what we want is we want the value. Okay. So this one dot value. This one should make a lot more sense now. Okay. So J Yong, and this is 00 room 001. Okay. Join. Okay. There we go. Okay. So over here, plus, 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 plus. Okay. And yeah, so basically it will keep reading. So every time it reads, right? Now what we want to do is we want to get this value. All right. This, okay, you know what? This whole thing, we can delete this already. And we put it back here. Okay, get data, we put it back here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so once you get inside, right, you want to use this updated score and then update it. Okay, so what you can do is over here, you can click, you can go to await constant. Let me see how do I do it. Okay, just await here. All right, yeah. So what we can do is we just do await update doc, await update doc, and we point to it. What do we want to? Where's our reference? So our reference is at doc ref. Okay, doc ref, and okay, on to add data. Okay, let's refer back to the documentation because I still a bit still need more practice on this. Okay, add document update. Okay, so await reference and what is it? All right, so we put in the dictionary here. Okay, so we are over. Where is it here? And not here. We are on top a little bit. Okay. Yeah. So doc ref. Okay. Then followed by what's the things inside? So I want to update the rate score, right? Rate score, and rate score, and update the score. Okay. So I want to update it accordingly. Yeah. So this should be correct. Okay. Let's give it a check. Okay. So Nelson, and go into session code room 001. Right. Join in. And now if I press plus, 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 okay, so you can see, right, the score keeps increasing already. So 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah. Okay, so over here, 6, nice, all right. Yeah, so matches. Okay, great. Nice. So last thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we can see the changes, all right? So how do we get changes is we need to add an event listener. Now this event listener, right, needs to be a bit different from our typical one. We need to go read data, listen for real-time updates. Okay, so what happened is every time your data here gets updated, right? The Firebase itself will detect it one. It has its own event listener under Firebase. So we want to make use of that so that the moment it listens to it, right, it will do a certain action. Okay, so what this means is we need to put on snapshot. So that means when there's changes, we will listen to what is the snapshot. So on snapshot, let's add this into our imports. And let's just make a new function here. Okay, so copy this and let's figure out to modify it. Okay. So here I want to refer into my multiplayer collection, right? Multiplayer game collection, and I want to find out what is my session code. Okay, session code. It's in the session code, and all right. Here, I don't think I need this. Okay, hold on. Oh, sorry, guys. I think I copied the wrong one. Yeah, you want this one. This one, the more basic one. Okay, so let's change this again. So multiplayer game collection, right? Go into the collection and we refer to it based on our session code. Okay, and document, you go inside, you log out all our data. All right, great. And here, this is where we want to check if, all right, if the current user, right? So user dot session, all right, is equals to the current session code, then and only then will it update. Okay, so maybe we update the right side, right, the blue one, so that we can see what's going on. So we get document that get element ID of the blue one, so blue score one. All right, is it actually? Hold up, something jam. No. Okay, I'm gonna look back here instead. So blue score one. Yes. Okay, so come back to blue score one and inner HTML, and we're gonna let that equals to our doc.data dot rate score. Okay, score. Yep. So we're gonna save this. Okay. So I think apparently my thing is lagging. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna open this again. npm run dev. Let's run it here. Nice. Okay, so let's say Nelson here again, Nelson, and we put in the room 001. Okay. Oh, wait, hold up. Why cannot? Optimize dependencies change. Okay, sorry guys, just bear with me a quick while. Did I do something wrong here? Okay, our problem started after this thing came in. After this thing came in, right? So maybe I'll comment this one out first. Let's see if it's still running or not. Oh, okay. Okay, something went, okay, I don't know why the extra line came in just now. Okay, yeah, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that, guys. Something I added an extra line out of nowhere. Okay, let us uncomment that. Let's do this again. Itself is not a function. What is it? Snapshot doc. Session code. Ah, okay. Okay, never mind. I think it should be fine. I hope. Okay. So this error is coming out because the session code is not defined over here. Okay, so hopefully once we grab the session code and it's defined globally, then it should be fine. Okay, so room 001. Fine. Okay, so it's adding up for sure. However, this is not working. Okay, let me just try to define a quick one. Let me cheat a little bit. So session code is equals to room 001. Just for the sake of it. Yeah. Okay. So Jae-yong, and this one is room 001 point. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see here, right, it will update and you can see it. So if let's say if I run this right in another in another account. Okay. So new window. Okay. So as you can see, this one is my other account. Run it here. Okay. So if I press it here, right? Okay. Why doesn't it update? Oh, yeah. Okay. So as you can see, it's not updating because this guy hasn't joined yet. So I need to join in over here. So let's say Nelson. Okay. And I join the session code room 001. If I join in, now whenever I update here, this side will see straight away. Okay. Can you see that? So let's say if I run this in another folder again. Okay. Let's say I open another account. Maybe this one. Okay. So let's say I put in another account again. Okay. So if let's say I go into room 002, okay, room 002 as Jin Yong. Okay, so join in here. All right. So if I click on this, right, nothing will happen. But what happens if I join room 001? See? So now this side is updating and all of them are updating at the same time. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can see it. So 25 here. Okay, no, this one doesn't work. Okay, yeah, like this. Looks a bit weird, but yes. Okay, so let me press plus. Okay, so as you can see, right, all of them update at the same time. Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much it for today. Still got some bugs here and there, but I hope you guys get the general idea of how it works. Okay, so basically what we have covered is we have covered on how do we make a session room, right? Create multiple session rooms based on the create function. And then how do we read from there? And after that, how do we update the particular session ID, the users, variables, codes, and all that? You know, like maybe the blue button, you know, is how much, the red button has how many score, the blue side has how many score. Yeah, so that is playing around with the read and the update functions from Firebase. Yeah, so hopefully with this, you guys can create your own multiplayer games or multiplayer rooms, chat rooms, things like that for your other projects. Yeah, sorry today a bit long, but I hope this was helpful for you guys. Okay, so that's all for today. Do you guys have any questions? What is the max user can join in a room? I think it's unlimited. Yeah, you can keep adding on, no problem. Yeah, Jonah, if you have this code running, you can try and join also, see if it works or not. Okay, all right, great question. Anyone else? Any other questions? Okay, all right. If everyone's good, just give me like a raise hand. See everyone's okay. Okay, great. All right, so yeah, in that case, I shall end our session here today. Okay, nice.